Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a journey back in time. Actually, scratch that, way, way back. We're going to embark on a deeply immersive, totally chronological journey into the terrifying nights of our distant past. We really want to explore exactly what it felt like for early humans the absolute second the sun finally went down.
Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine waking up in complete darkness. No flashlight, no electricity, no safe house. And somewhere outside, beyond the darkness, something is moving. For our early ancestors living thousands of years ago, night wasn't just a time to kick back and rest. It was literally the absolute most dangerous part of the day.
You see, when the sun disappears today, our modern world just flips a switch and turns on the lights, right? But for early human communities, the entire environment just completely transformed the second the sun set. Without any artificial lighting, visibility instantly dropped to near zero. The temperature began to absolutely plummet. Every single shadow became a potential threat. You were essentially stripped of your primary sense, your sight, in a harsh world that simply did not forgive mistakes. Just think about the stark contrast here. Daytime meant high visibility, comforting warmth, and a landscape where humans could easily assert dominance. But the night brought blindness, freezing cold, and a sudden terrifying shift to predator dominance. Because let's face it, we humans totally lack nocturnal vision, so our ancestors were put at a severe biological disadvantage against hunters that evolved specifically to thrive in the pitch black.
And who exactly were those hunters? Well, depending on the environment, prehistoric humans shared their world with some truly terrifying neighbors. We're talking large cats, aggressive hyenas, and roaming packs of wolves. These deadly predators were out there, lurking just outside the primitive campsite, and they were perfectly adapted to use the cover of darkness to their absolute advantage. To them, we definitely weren't at the top of the food chain. We were potential prey.
Try to really picture the atmospheric tension of that primitive campsite. The fire created this small island of light, totally surrounded by a vast ocean of darkness. Imagine just being gathered around that fragile flame inside a simple rock shelter. Some of your group are sleeping, others are desperately trying to stay awake, their eyes straining into the blackness. That stark contrast between the safety of the glowing firelight and the vast, dangerous, totally unknown dark just beyond it, it is absolutely palpable.
So, this brings us to a massive turning point in our history. The lifeline of fire. Mastering the campfire completely changed the trajectory of humanity forever. I mean, it was our very first real weapon against the night. It was our first piece of technology that actually allowed us to successfully push back against the darkness and that biting cold.
And this brilliantly illustrates why fire was so absolutely crucial. It wasn't just about one single thing. It was this multifaceted tool. It provided the light we needed to see, offered vital warmth, created a central social gathering place, protected us against those nocturnal animals, and allowed us to cook food to unlock essential nutrients. It was essentially the ultimate prehistoric multi-tool for defense and survival.
But all of those amazing benefits bring up a pretty terrifying question. What happens if the fire dies? Because a fire could only protect an early human group if it actually stayed alive. Maintaining those flames wasn't just some chore. It was a matter of literal life and death. If the fire went out, the light was gone, the predators were emboldened, and in a lot of environments, those rapidly plummeting temperatures would become a fatal threat.
Remember, these early humans obviously didn't have central heating or modern winter coats, so to survive the dropping temperatures, they had to actively work throughout the entire long night. They gathered close together just to share body heat, they insulated themselves with animal hides, and most importantly, someone always had to stay awake to continuously feed that fire with dry wood. Every single night was this grueling exercise in staying warm enough just to see the next day.
Now, just imagine being huddled there in your shelter, trying to stay warm. The campsite is quiet, and then a sound in the dark. A distant rustling suddenly interrupts the quiet of your shelter.
Outside, the leaves move. The entire group becomes immediately silent, completely alert. Someone slowly adds a piece of wood to the fire. Every single eye stares out into the blackness. Something is passing just beyond the edge of your small circle of firelight.
So what is moving in the dark? This right here is the ultimate psychological terror. The human brain was facing one terrible problem in this scenario. It could hear the threat perfectly, but because of our really poor night vision, it couldn't always see what was making the sound. Was it a massive predator hunting for a meal, or just some harmless animal moving through the brush? You simply couldn't know.
And then, silence. The sound just stops.
In that deafening silence, your body responds. The group readies simple stone-tipped or wooden weapons. You stay tightly knit together, literally shoulder to shoulder, waiting for a predator attack that may or may not come. You're bracing for the fight of your life, relying entirely on the people next to you.
Eventually, the sound disappears. The danger passes. And as dawn slowly approaches, it becomes abundantly clear exactly why we survived nights like this. Humanity's greatest advantage wasn't our individual physical strength. It was cooperation. It was our profound ability to act together as a coordinated group to overcome our individual physical vulnerabilities. A single human alone in the dark, that was prey. But a cooperative group, that was a formidable force.
So the crucial point is this. We survived because of an intricate web of shared behaviors. Our ancestors relied on active communication, the shared responsibility of fire maintenance, and choosing the right shelter. By deeply knowing their environment, wielding simple tools, and prioritizing group protection, our species didn't just survive those terrifying nights, we actually thrived.
Let's look at how this chronological journey of the night finally resolves. In Hour 1, sunset brings plunging temperatures and suffocating darkness. By Hour 6, the deep night sets in, requiring constant fire maintenance and just exhausting vigilance against unseen threats. But then, Hour 12. The sky slowly begins to change. The first light of dawn appears, chasing away the shadows. The uncertainty of the night finally breaks, bringing another massive victory for human survival.
It's truly wild to think about how different our experience is today, isn't it? I mean, for us, modern darkness is usually just the end of a long, safe day. Our streets are illuminated, our houses are locked and heated, but ancient darkness was a constant existential threat. Every single night brought uncertainty and a grueling test of survival. Our modern conveniences have almost completely erased the primal terror of the night that defined human existence for thousands of years.
And so, we're left with this really powerful truth. Long before cities illuminated the night, our ancestors learned how to survive it. I want you to think about that the next time you turn out the lights before you're going to bed. The only reason we're here today is because our early ancestors faced the terrifying darkness together and won. What other incredible hurdles did early humans have to overcome to build the world we know today? Well, that's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next explainer.